Welcome to the Sarah Finkelstein Show. Today is February 14, 2022. And what is the significance of February 14? It's Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to our listening audience, our listening and viewing audience. So do you know, what does an IRA stand for? You probably know this, but just in case you don't, it stands for Individual Retirement Account. What is that? The government rewards you for being proactive, for planning for your own future retirement. When the IRA first came out back in the 1980s, do you know how small the contribution limit was? I'll tell you, it was $2,000 for the year. Do you know what the contribution limit is today? Currently, the IRA contribution is $6,000 per year. So let's assume that you're contributing $6,000 a year, and you've got another 30 years ahead of you before you get to your retirement. That means that you will have accumulated $180,000 in your IRA. Now, that's not even including the growth of that money. That is just your contributions. And if you're married, both of you can contribute $6,000 a year for a total of $12,000. Now that's if you're 50 or under, 50 or younger. If you are over the age of 50, you get what's called a catch-up contribution. What does that mean? That means that you can contribute an additional $1,000 to your IRA. Now, the IRA grows tax deferred. So you're not paying taxes on the growth, and you're not even paying taxes on your initial contributions from year to year. That is called a traditional IRA. You actually get to deduct that contribution on your tax return, so it actually saves you on your income taxes. Now, what happens if your spouse doesn't work? Maybe he or she is staying at home and taking care of the children. Can he or she contribute to an IRA even though they may not have any earned income? And the answer is yes. Your spouse can make a spousal contribution just like you can, even though your spouse may not be actively employed outside the home. So the two of you can then contribute a total of $12,000 for the year. So if you contribute for 30 years for the both of you, now you have $360,000 in total contributions in your respective, 180 and 180 for total contributions for both of your IRAs. And again, that's not even including the growth on those accounts. Now, if you are over the age of 50, you get to take advantage of that catch-up contribution. So instead of putting in $6,000 for the year, you can put in $7,000 for the year. And for both of you as a couple, you can put away $14,000 a year over the age of 50. So remember, you get a tax deduction, it grows tax deferred. So eventually you will be paying taxes on that money because it's never been taxed before. That's how the traditional IRA works. So the government does want you to be proactive in planning for your future retirement. That's why there are these special tax codes for you to take advantage of. Now, people have said to me, well, an IRA is risky. And it can be risky, but not necessarily. So I want you to think of an IRA as a wrapper, something that goes around it. Your money, think of it as throwing money into a basket, and the wrapper is the IRA. So you could throw into that basket a bank CD. You can throw into that basket mutual funds. You can throw into that basket stocks or bonds, or even an annuity. So it's not necessarily risky just because it is an IRA. The risk factor comes from how you're investing your IRA. An IRA could be very conservative if that's what you want. It all has to do with your own risk tolerance and your comfort level with the risk. So remember to take advantage of annual contributions to your traditional IRA, and you will get a tax deduction on your income tax return. You also can do either a Roth IRA. Have you heard of the Roth IRA? It's very powerful, even more powerful than the traditional IRA. Why? Because that account grows tax-free. So you don't get a tax deduction on your income tax return because it's after-tax dollars. You've already paid taxes on that money. So it grows tax-free. So now instead of having to pay taxes when you start to withdraw from it in your retirement years, you will not have to pay taxes on the Roth IRA. Contribution limits are the same as the traditional IRA, but it's very powerful. Why? Because it grows tax-free. If you believe that taxes may be higher in your retirement years, you may want to consider contributing to a Roth IRA. And the deadline for doing so, if you haven't done so already, you could still make a contribution for the year of 2021. The deadline is tax filing day. So it's April 15 is the deadline. But if I were you, I would not wait until the very last minute. So you can make a contribution for 2021 if you have not done so, or if you've already made your contribution for 2021, you can make your contribution for 2022. Anytime this year, and even up until April 15 of next year. So you've got plenty of time for your 2022 contribution. And by the way, if your family, your friends, your neighbors do not have an IRA, please urge them to start one immediately, because a lot of people used to have in the old days a pension account, and most Americans do not have a pension account anymore. So this is a replacement too. It's an alternative. It's another way for you to have another bucket of money for your retirement years. But time is of the essence. The deadline is quickly approaching. So please make sure that you, your spouse, your friends have made your annual contribution. It is so very important. In summary, you can put money into a traditional IRA and get a tax deduction on your income tax return, or you could take advantage of a Roth IRA. that is after tax dollars. That money will grow for you tax free. But in either case, whichever one you decide to do, just do it. Just get at least one of those in place. Now, some people are also converting their traditional IRAs into a Roth IRA because they are concerned about future taxes. So what are they doing? They're taking a tax bite now to have that money growing for them in the future tax-free, so that in the future, when they do get to retirement, they will not have to pay any taxes on that money. So remember, if you're under the age of 50, you can contribute $6,000. If you're 50 or older, you can contribute $7,000. And that's for you and your spouse, even if your spouse does not have any earned income. For more of our Daily Money Show, please go to iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, and you can even Google the Sarah Finkelstein Show for more segments. Also, we are on YouTube as well and Rumble. If you know anybody that would like to attend an educational workshop, we are doing a Social Security planning workshop coming up on Saturday, February 26th at 10 a.m. and Thursday, March 3rd at 7 p.m. Both of them are in downtown Boca Raton. If you're interested, please text me and we'll reserve a spot for you. The phone number is 561-302-5760. And we will see you at the next segment of the Sarah Finkelstein Show. Happy Valentine's Day.